Hello everyone, welcome to this video on an overview of admission module in IFW Campus ERP 2.0. During this video, you will have a look and feel about the product. In the module list at the left, you can see a module Admission. The module is divided into three parts: Masters, Forms and Reports. Let's have a look at the dashboard of this module. The dashboard lists all the forms on a single page. From here, you can jump to any desired form directly. Let's look at the process, how this module works. The admissions can be taken using two different steps. One is inquiries and one are online admissions. Let's look at the feature of online admissions first. Suppose your organization is having a website and you want the admissions to come through that website itself. It can be managed through ERP. What you have to do is simply create an admission form using this admission form settings and provide a link on your website. You have to select the college for which the admissions are open. You have to select the course level, give the form a particular name so that it can be identified. The students have to fill which form for which course and define a form fee. Suppose you are charging an amount of rupees 1000, let's say, for filling this admission form. Select a company through which the amount will be deposited. This amount will be deposited by for admission through online fee payment. You have to define certain instructions for the form. There is a section to define any particular note and the payment declarations. Along with this, you can define the subjects which the student has to choose at the time of admission, like suppose BR or MR. What are the subject lists that student will be opting, and click on add like this. Next, another subject, click on add. So this is how the students can choose their particular subjects out of this pool created by the organization. Next are the educational details that are required at the time of admission, and you want the particular inquiries or the students who are filling the admission form to submit these documents. You can add these documents from here. We have added 10th, 12th PCM mark sheet and diploma. If you wish to add any more, you can add it from here. Like this, put the specialization, if required, pattern, whether it is optional or mandatory. If you click on optional, then this record is optional at the time of filling the admission form, and if you uncheck it, it becomes mandatory to upload it at the time of filling the admission form. The family details can be entered from here, and the attachments that are required at the time of can be maintained from here. After entering all these details, save your form. Link of this form will be provided at your website, through which the online admissions can be maintained. This admission form is available to the students at the time of filling the admission form. All the interested candidates who wish to take admission in your college will have a look and feel of this form like this. They have to register their name. For example, they have to enter a password. Confirm the password. Give a email ID. And the contact number. Click on register. Now the candidate has registered himself or herself for filling the admission form. Using the same username and password, they can log in. They have to fill the admission form. The admission form looks like this. The instructions that you have entered at the time of admission settings will flow here. The candidate has to fill this much details, and once the candidate selects the course instructions will flow from the admission settings that you have selected. Select the course level. Select the course. As you select the course, the form instructions related to this course will display like this. These instructions will be displayed to the students. The student has to fill all the details that you have mentioned at the time of setting the mandatory details have to be filled. They cannot be left blank. The mobile number and the email ID will flow from the registration when the user has registered before filling the form. Click on Save and Continue. Use these options: hostel accommodations and transport facility if it is required by the candidate. Click on Save and Continue. This is the form which will be visible to the student at the time of filling the details. Once the admission details are filled up, the personal details will flow. Father's name, mother's name, personal details, all the form has to be filled by the student. In the education details, the 10th, 12th and diploma as it was entered at the time of admission setting will flow. The student has to fill up all these details. Attachments which are mandatory are to be done by the student, and the payment that was selected, whether the student will pay in online or offline mode. In the offline mode, a challan will be generated, or a check will be deposited, or a DD will be deposited in the college or university's name. In the online payment mode, the payment gateways have to be selected from here which the organization is using. You have to confirm the payment declarations and then proceed for the payment. So this is how the admission form is filled by the student. The filled admission forms are visible on Manage Admission Form. The admission forms that are filled through your website will be visible to you here. So this is the admission form that has been filled. You can check the form that what the details are filled by the student. If you feel that form is incomplete, you can check the status and mark it as pending. Click on Save. If you wish to send the SMS to the students, the SMS can be sent at this status. When you mark as pending, an auto SMS will be sent to the students that the form is pending, completed. When you mark it as confirmed, an auto SMS will be sent to the student and the form will be marked as confirmed. They will be notified for that form. There are 3 features provided here. You can delete the form. If you want, you can lock the form. Once the form is locked, the student cannot change any information in that form through your website or through their particular login. And there is an option to print the form. The printed form will look like this. This is how the form will be printed. This is the one step of admissions. Through here, these confirmed admissions will directly move to your student registration form. Next step of taking admissions is inquiry. This is an offline mode of taking admissions. The students walk into your campus and apply for the admission by filling the handwritten forms or by the prospectors and other payment modes or other admission modes. have a look at the inquiry form. The inquiries can be of three types. One is the prospectus sales. You are selling a prospectus along with an admission form. One is telephonic inquiry. It means the candidate has called you up for the admission and inquired for the course in which he or she is interested in. And another one is course inquiry. These are the walk-ins. The people are walking into your campus, inquiring for various courses and showing their interest in admissions. So you can choose any of the option accordingly. Prospectus sales, a receipt has to be generated for the prospectus that is sold. You have to select the prospectus. You have to select the class for which you are selling it. Select the form. The prospectus number will be auto-generated. These details are fetched from the masters that are entered prior making these entries. When you will click on save, a receipt will be generated for this prospectus. At the time of inquiries, there are certain more details that are to be filled, like course inquiry. You have to select the course in which the student is interested in. The courses will fetch. You have to select the particular course in which the student is interested. If the student has given any entrance exam, under the section entrance exam, you can enter those details of entrance exam. You have to enter the mandatory fields which cannot be left blank. And click on add to save the records. Similarly, add qualifications. If the student has any prior qualification, you can add those details. If you are charging any provisional fees at the time of inquiry, you can put that fee details here. Select your receipt book. Receipt number will be fetched. Select the amount or enter the amount here, that what provisional amount you are charging. Whether the student is paying that amount in check, cash or DD, bank transfer, whatever, and click on add. If you want to merge any duplicate inquiries, you can do it from here. The official details at the time of inquiry can be managed here, like suggestions or media type from where the student came to know about your institute or any other kind of remark. Scholarship details are to be entered here. If the student is getting any scholarship from any institute or any government policy, and the local references if any. If there are any local references, the guardian details that are to be entered here. Click on save and keep the records. Export, Export Plus, Report and Report Plus. These are the four options using which you can generate the reports. The search panel above allows you to search the records that are already entered and listed under this listing section. You can use these various filters provided for the search. You can search the records by using the name, by using session, by using inquiry number, inquiry date or receipt date, etc. The searched records will be listed under the listing section. First of all, we talk about the export button. You can export the existing records in HTML, PDF, Excel and CSV. The export option gives you the records that are listed under the listing section with the columns that are seen here as it. When we go on to Export Plus, the user gets a choice of options here. You can make a choice of the fields that you require and arrange them as per your desired requirement. This is how you have selected the fields in order you want. You have selected the serial number. Click on export and click on print. this is the desired report according to the selections made by the user. For future use, you can save this template by giving a template name here and click on this save button. Next time when you go to the export plus option, the saved template will be listed here. This will avoid the rework of the user. You can simply select the template and generate the report. In the listing section, when you move towards the right, there is an option to print the inquiry form. This is how the inquiry form is printed with the required details. Print receipt. This is how the receipt is printed with the details that are entered and the amount that has been deposited. There are two receipts. One is for provisional admission, the provisional receipt, and another one is for prospectus sales, the prospectus receipt. When you click on print receipt under the prospectus column, you'll get a prospectus receipt with the amount that has been deposited at the time of prospectus sale. So this is how your inquiries can be managed. You can create new prospectus from here by entering the prospectus details. That whether it is a prospectus or it is an admission form or registration form, you have to select the group for which it is applicable, enter the amount here, serial number starting, the start serial number and the end serial number up to. The amount for the prospectus or form has to be entered here. Select the courses and classes for which this prospectus is applicable and click on Save. The prospectus entered here will flow on the inquiry form at the time of entering the new records. Select the inquiry type, prospectus sales. The masters of prospectus that you have entered will flow here. Select the prospectus, the class for which you want to sell it, the prospectus form that you have created in the previous form, masters. The amount will flow from there. So this is how the prospectus master will be created and the data will flow on the inquiry form. If you have your inquiry data or admission data, the inquiries for admission, in an Excel sheet, you can import that data directly using this import option provided in ERP. Select the admission module and the import inquiries, click on blank sheet and then prepare sheet. If you have the data in Excel, just copy and paste the records under the respective columns. Click on validate and click on import. All these records will be imported directly into the ERP. Here, under the validation section, you will get the validations whether the record entered by you is correct or not. If the record is incorrect, it will be marked that what are the issues in the record. You can just check through it, rectify it and import it again. The students can check their admission form status using this form. This is for the student login, where the student can check the status of their form, whether the admission form is pending, whether it is confirmed. The inquiry follow-ups. Inquiry follow-ups allow you to keep the record of follow-ups about an inquiry. Suppose an inquiry has been followed up on these particular dates. Now you are following it up again. So select the counselor, select the medium that how you are following it up, the response, and click on Save. This is how you can keep the follow-up records in ERP. You are following up with your inquiries that have been made using the inquiry form. At the time of follow-up, you have to put a next follow-up date. That what will be the next follow-up date for this particular inquiry. Like this inquiry has been followed up today. And what will be the next follow-up date? Suppose this is the next follow-up date. By this date, we have to follow up this inquiry again. So the system will remind you. You can check the follow-ups for today using this search panel. You have set a next follow-up date for any particular inquiry, and suppose on that particular day you are not available in the institute to follow up that inquiry. What you have to do is you simply assign your follow-ups to somebody who is available at your place. Course inquiries, counselor, suppose Nancy. Select the follow-up date, institute visit date, course for which the student has inquired, and the other call details, call categories, state and city. Click on Fill. Let's have a look at the report section. The custom report allows you to print the admission form, the inquiry form, the prospectus receipts and the provisional receipts. Let's have a look at the admission form first. This is how the admission form is being generated using the custom templates. You can generate any admission form from here using this custom report for any particular admission or inquiry. Next comes the inquiry forms. You can generate the inquiry forms of the inquiries already done. This is how your inquiry form looks like. You can generate the admission forms and inquiry forms from the form inquiries, the print button as we showed you earlier, and manage admission forms, the print button as we showed you earlier. But this allows you to generate the form one by one. If you want to generate the inquiry forms and admission forms in bulk, you can generate it using this custom reports. Next are the prospectus receipts. Similarly, you will get the provisional receipts also. This is how custom reports are useful to generate these forms and receipts in bulk. Next in the list is dynamic reports. The dynamic reports gives you the admission and inquiry details in the form of a report. Let's have a look at this admission receipt view model. You can use the various selections if required. You can select the required fields from the list provided here. And click on Export. So inquiry details have been listed in the form of report using this dynamic report. Same you can do it for the admission details, the records that have been received through online admissions. Select the desired fields and click on Export. You can modify your reports by assigning and unassigning the fields as per your requirement. So these are the admission details that have been received by the institute through online admissions. I summarize it again. The admission form allows you to take the online admissions, and the inquiries allow you to take the offline admissions, the walk-ins into the college. You can save your templates by giving a template name here and clicking on Save button. in order to avoid the reselections of the fields next time when you visit this form. This is all about the admission module. Thank you.